Survival class difficulty mirage psychological torture reality warping geometry deceptive influences. Description: deep within the hallways of the lightless backrooms lies a purported safe space where all entities vanish from sight, leaving the wanderer completely alone in a small, cubic room, its faces replaced by 6 opposing mirrors that create an infinite quantity of reflections on all sides. Despite level -3's lack of a source of light, wanderers are still able to see their mangled selves in the abnormal mirrors, which seem to produce a brilliant light in addition to see their mangled selves in the abnormal mirrors, which seem to produce a brilliant light in addition to reflecting it. However, all attempts at photography return only a black image, implying that the existence of light here is merely an illusion. Devoid of any reference points, the room messes with one's depth perception and stimulates the brain with so much repetition that splitting migraines become commonplace. This excessive confusion and shock impels wanderers to panic at their own expense as they struggle to stare at, let alone comprehend, the sheer scope of infinity. However, not all hope is lost for those who intend to escape. Some walled mirrors are not completely solid, displaying a ripple effect upon coming into contact with a sufficiently strong force. This result implies that the specific mirror wall functions similarly to liquid and can thus be freely walked through. Successfully walking through a wall puts one into an exact replica of this room, albeit now with minor imperfections in the mirrors and their reflections. These defects, which include small cracks, blood stains, and uneven ridges, progressively become more profound as wanderers walk through more walls. As these blemishes accumulate, reflections lose their once perfect quality, gradually devolving into inadequate, reprehensible depictions that no longer correctly portray their subject. At this point, the reflections may appear to deviate from wanderers' behavior, functioning less like mirrored images and more like separate, living beings. Though this occurrence can initially be easily ignored as just a hallucination, a byproduct of the mental degradation fueled by utter disorientation, eventually, wanderers must accept the fact that the silhouettes in the mirrors are not just reflections. In many cases, the reflections, by imitating people's voices, encourage wanderers to walk through the respective walls the beings are located behind. Most of the time, this ends up being a harmless prank to humiliate wanderers, who crash headfirst into a solid entrances and exits. Entrances: certain mirrors in level 365 are not made of solid glass. In these specific mirrors, the image presented by them does not imitate the behavior of the subject they are supposed to reflect. Wanderers can walk through these mirrors to enter level -3. Exits: many solid mirrors in level -3 can fracture easily. When they finally collapse, what lies on the other side of the wall is usually either a void of nothingness or a tiled wall of a public bathroom. Wanderers must exercise caution when stepping through these newly created cavities, as there is a high possibility of being cut by broken glass. The hole in the wall tends to fix itself after several minutes, so wanderers must also be quick. For obvious reasons, it is not recommended to step through the hole if what lies beyond appears to be a void of nothingness. Unsurprisingly, those who decided to enter anyway were never seen again, most likely trapped in eternal oblivion after the wall repaired itself.